Okay, guys, so driver may use stand your ground defense for shooting that killed 52-year-old. No one knows why Freddie Hernandez got out of his car at the intersection of Waters Avenue and East Anderson Road in Tampa on the night of June 10th. But the decision would be fatal. Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office investigators say Hernandez approached the driver in front of him who shot and killed the 52-year-old. They say Curtis James, 44, was the driver who pulled the trigger. His attorney, Tim Taylor, says his client was the victim of a road rage incident and was forced to defend himself. Yet prosecutors charge James with first degree manslaughter. Okay, this I'm glad this came up. We have to talk about this. Stand your ground. It's mostly known because of the George Zimmerman Trayvon Martin case, and it became a thing. It became a racial thing. Stand your ground became a racist law, and people tried to get rid of it. But a funny thing happened along the way to those people trying to get rid of stand your ground. And I'm gonna give y'all a second to guess what that revelation was that happened as activists were trying to repeal Florida's stand your ground law in 2012. What do you think happened? Let's have a Jeopardy moment. Do 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 do. Well, many of you with high IQs or just logical brains probably came to the correct answer, which is the group that does the most shooting by far, the group that commits the most homicides by far, the group that by far kills more people across the country, but in Florida in this case, benefits the most from stand your ground law. So the vast majority of the stand your ground defenses in Florida before George Zimmerman and since were Sun men or Sun women. But of course, 99% chance Sun men. Okay? So in their haste to, because Trayvon, got shot, we got to get rid of this law. This is racist. Just look at who's doing all the killing and all the discharging of their firearms. And we know the criminal justice system isn't racist. If you subscribe to this channel, you know that. Now, if you new, if this is your first time watching the video, you might, oh my God, I can't believe you said that. But people who've been here for a while, they know it's not racist at all. It actually works out better for Sun men. Sun men get a better shake than anybody in the whole criminal justice system. Okay, guys, this is the gun memorial for Florida. All of the fatal gunshot victims in the state of Florida. So you can even look at the ones where they don't have pictures for the person. Akeef Jamal Anderson. They don't have a picture for him. Give me a description on him. Then you have Shaquan M. Willoughby. Give me a description on Shaquan. And then, of course, you have our buddy. We did the video about Dustin Wakefield, who was gunned down while eating dinner with his family randomly by a Sun man. And then you have on and on and on. You know, I mean, many of you would probably think Florida was 90% Sun people. I mean, again, those of you with high IQs and logical, this is where having a high IQ and being logical would probably get you caught up. You would probably think that Florida as a state is about 80 to 90% Sun people. The Sunshine State, right? Well, not quite. Florida is actually 75% white. And if you leave Miami and you leave Orlando, inner city Tampa, and go to any of those other parts of Florida, you'll know. Yeah, it's 75% white. 16% black. So a little bit higher than the national average. Now back to the gun memorial. So where did we leave off? July? Okay, so we're in July. So yeah, I mean, that small percentage of the city is doing all of the killing. And they're not just killing the Sun people, because obviously you haven't seen any Crump or you haven't seen any CNN or MSNBC down in Florida in a while, so it's safe to say that all of these Sun people were killed by other Sun people. But not only were the Sun people killed by Sun people, but the people of the other groups were also, the majority of them were killed by Sun people. We did the video on this girl, Tylisha. I think she was a corrections officer. This girl right here. And she was killed in a mass shooting. We covered that, so we did that story. But yeah. We did this story too. She was also killed in that at that time frame. This girl right here. So like the majority of the people who are firing their guns in Florida are Sun people. And the stand your ground law is something they use quite frequently. Now, it doesn't always work, but a lot of times they get it, they use it, and it works because, I mean, it is what it is. They may have been rightfully defending themselves. I mean, because look at all this murder. I mean, it would behoove you to have a firearm and to defend yourself. We did this woman right here. We did this one. Yeah, the Sugar Festival. Remember this girl? The Brown Sugar Festival. She was home from college. And her dad killed himself after her dad couldn't take it, and he killed him, and he died. No, he didn't kill him, so he died. He just died of, upon hearing it, he just had a heart attack and died. So yeah, don't believe the hype you're going to hear from liberals and activists and pro. Stand your ground law is a Sun person's law. They're the ones, they're 90% of the time when the gun is fired in Florida, it's one of them. So they're the ones using it. It's their law. It's not George Zimmerman, racist law. He just used it because that was a time when a non-Sun person fired a gun and said that they were defending themselves. During a virtual court hearing Monday morning, Taylor addressed the charges on behalf of his client. I enter a plea of not guilty, Taylor said, the lawyer. With that plea, his attorney will likely try to beat the charges using Florida's stand your ground defense. We know the shooter stayed on the scene. We know he cooperated with law enforcement. We know the shooter provided law enforcement with a statement. So most likely, that shooter is telling law enforcement that he was defending himself and acting under the law, explained attorney Anthony Rickman, who is not connected to the case, just giving his opinion. Curtis James is due back in court in October. That was very smart on Curtis James's part. He didn't flee the scene. He didn't criminalize him. Oh yeah, I shot this guy. Yeah, hey, where the cops at? Yeah, I just had to shoot this guy. Now I tell you guys all the time, never get out of your car during a traffic stop unless you're asked to. Like, they pull you over, they get behind you, they're sitting there for a few minutes running your tags and getting everything straight. Don't get out of that car. Same thing with any kind of road rage or any kind of thing on the road. I know sometimes if you get in an accident, yeah, you gotta get out your car, yada yada. But try to not just be hopping out of your car and walking towards people's cars on the road. Freddie Hernandez, man, maybe you had good intentions. You wanted to go, hey, buddy, let's talk this out. It's best to just keep going, man. You don't want to, because the brother probably didn't know what was going on. The brother, it may have been some kind of dust up, some back and forth, or maybe, I don't know, whatever it was to bring it to this point. The brother doesn't know that you're not going to shoot him. You know, he doesn't know that you're not going to come put his life in jeopardy. You could have good intentions. You could be trying to peacemake. Just keep going if you can. You know, drive to a well-lit area, gas station, flag down a cop. But don't get out your car at a traffic light and walk towards somebody else's car. Just don't do that. R.I.P. Freddie Gomez or Gonzalez, whatever his name is, but R.I.P. to him. And I think the brother's going to get this case. I think Curtis James is going to beat this, man. He did everything right, man. Now we have to have ballistics and the trajectory and the CSI and all that stuff, but I don't have all access to all the evidence. But from what I know of the case, seemed like the brother may get this. I mean, like, he didn't get out of his car either. That shows that he wasn't escalating the thing. He was in his car. The other guy got out of his car, started walking towards his car. I mean, I think this is one of the stand your ground cases where the guy will actually get stand your ground. I think he got a good case.